Well, hey folks, and welcome to Solar Cabin Channel. Finally, we got a sunny day here. It has been so windy here that I had plastic around like I always do every winter. I had plastic around to create my solarium for my porch. The wind came through here and that plastic had a couple little holes in it. It just trashed that plastic and tore it all to heck. So I took the plastic off of my porch, and now I'm getting ready to start doing some outside chores. And one of the chores that I have to do quite a bit here is mowing my yard. Now I'll show you my yard here. Okay, so my yard is, I've got just a little bit under an acre here. And so I have a riding mower. It's out there underneath a cover. And I use the riding mower for the biggest part of this because I'm just too old to try pushing an acre lawnmower around to mow an acre. Now I do have a push lawnmower, a gas one like that, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. It's probably about 8 years old. It still runs good, has a few problems but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get away from gas appliances and gas tools as much as possible. So what I got me, since you know I live off-grid, this is my 400 watt off-grid power system here at the cabin. This is all I use for all my power, and I use it for charging up all my tools and running appliances, lights, and things like that in the cabin. And, you know, I'm trying to get away from getting gas. For one thing, gas is just dang expensive. I mean, it's still $4.30, something like that here. And so, you know, it's expensive. Plus, I just kind of would like to get away from gas as much as possible and use electric and recharge from my free solar power as much as possible. So what I got here is this is a lawnmower. It's a 14 inch 28 volt cordless lawnmower. Has a battery, made by Sunjoe, and I got this off Amazon, and it says it has a 4.0 amp hour battery built in, and it also has a bag catcher. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to take this out of the box. I will put it together, and then I'm going to put it through some testing. I did a little reading on it just on the box, oh, here's my little new pup. That's my little new pup, Tougher there, and she's being a terrorist, getting in everything. But it says this has a 600 watt brushless motor, a cutting width max of 14 inches, a cutting height of 1.18 to 2.52. It has a grass catcher with a capacity of 10.6 gallons, battery voltage of 28 volts, and I read on here the expected max runtime is about 25 minutes. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get it out of the box and put together. Battery capacity of 4.0, battery runtime max 25 minutes. Now, one thing about electric motors, though, that you generally don't have with gas motors is they turn off when you're not mowing. So you're not running the battery down when a lot of times, like when I'm going around my yard with the gas mower, and you know, like everybody does, I have mine blocked so that it just stays running all the time, so I don't have to keep pull starting it. And a lot of times I have to stop to pull sticks and stuff the dogs have drug onto the yard and stuff like that. And that whole time that gas motor is running is using gas. Whereas with an electric motor, you can just stop them and you're not using any power from the battery. So they generally will last longer. Now, a gas motor like this one over here with that small tank, it will usually get about a half hour on a tank of gas. And if this gets 25 minutes and I don't have to restart it in between, and I'm not using any power when I stop it, it should get probably about the same amount of runtime as I'm thinking a gas mower will, of about the same size. So anyway, now I'm going to put this together, and I'll let you know how well it goes together and how easy it is to set up, and then we'll give it a test in my backyard. Okay guys, so I got this Sunjoe electric lawnmower put together in probably about 10 minutes. It really didn't take very long at all. There's not much really to put on. You put the bottom arms on first. There's a screw. You will need a Phillips screwdriver for that screw down there. That's the only tool you'll need. Other than that, everything else is included. And you just attach the bottom, and then you attach your top arm, which has your control on it, and you have your wires. The wires have some little clips that you attach to it, so it holds it together, and then it just has those twister knobs on the inside. And you just notice that the bolt goes on the inside, and the clamp goes on the outside. Other than that, it all went together really fast. And then they send this thing that looks like a key. Actually, kind of looks like a fuse, but what it is it's a key. You can see it right there. That thing there, I'll pull it out here. Looks like that. That's basically the key to let it run. So you can take that out, which is a good idea if you got kids or something like that. You don't want them messing around with something like this. And then it does have a way to test the battery, which you can push this little button right here, which I'll try to show you. If I can hold this up here. You push that button, and it says it's on red. So, of course, they didn't ship this with a full battery. It's got a low battery, but it's enough that I can go and test it just a little bit in my backyard, and then I'll charge it up, and we'll give it more of a test. Now, I like the looks of it. Kind of reminds me of a turtle. Or a tortoise, made by Sunjoe. It does have the rear bag attachment. Now, generally, I don't use a bag, but, you know, it came with the bag, and so we'll use the bag. And usually I just mulch the grass right into my old grass. And you just put a rod into the bottom of it, and then it just slides right onto these two slide places on the back of it. And this is fairly lightweight. That's one thing I've noticed. I mean, if you need to lift this thing up, look, you can lift this up with one hand real easy. So if you're using this, like, you know, if you're taking it around to mow your grandma's yard or something like that, that would be handy because it's really lightweight and also easier for people who maybe don't have a lot of upper body strength to use. It does have the controls, and the controls are basically you have to push this button in first and then pull the handle in order to interact with the motor and get the motor going. So we'll go and test it a little bit in my backyard and see how it mows. And then while I clean up my backyard, I'm going to go ahead and charge this up. And it takes about 4.5 hours, 4.5 hours it says, to charge this up. So almost 5 hours to recharge it. And it does come with the battery is built in. And it does come with the, that's the recharger, the power controller. And what am I trying to say? It's a transformer to charge up the battery, and it charges from 110 volt. They send this with us, so don't lose that because you need that. And then you just plug it in. The port to charge it is underneath this little flap right down there. Plug it in right there. Recharge it up. 4.5 hours, 5 hours, and then you should get about 25 minutes of runtime. So I'm gonna go test this real quick with just whatever battery it has in it, and then I'll charge it up and we'll mow my backyard. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. I've already done just a quick row around here. This is my backyard. And if you can notice, my grass isn't great. This is mostly a lot of old pasture grass and a lot of weeds and a lot of sticks. So I needed a mower that would handle some pretty rough cutting, okay? And this thing, it's still on low battery. I haven't charged it up yet. It's still on low battery, but it started right up. It started kind of slow at first. I thought, oh, I'm going to have to charge up. Then it kicked on and still had a lot of power. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. And one thing that I can tell you is it's very quiet. It's a lot quieter than my gas mower. So I can mow at times maybe when my neighbors are sleeping or something like that without disturbing and waking everybody up. So that's a nice feature. It's very light, easy to push around. Wheels are a little bit on the small side, but they seem to travel really well. So let's go ahead and finish up this mowing right here. Push, start. Hopefully hear that. I'll run it up next to you. Very quiet. Now you can see the motor kicked up higher when I hit the high grass. When it's not mowing high grass, it seems to stay on low. And then when you go into the high grass, then it kicks up. See, I've got quite a bit of stick here. Oh, it's over real nice. It mowed. Now I still got another half of the backyard to do here. And the reason I got a small mower like this is only a 14 inch. But this is good for doing a small yard like my backyard, or to do the edges. Because when I do with my riding mower, I mow all the big area. Then I take this around the edges to do the edges next to the fence. And, you know, that's on a low battery. And it just mowed all this down real fast. So, yeah, it seems to work very well. I will recharge it and put it through a few more tests. But I would say, you know, it does everything that it says it's going to do. It's kind of cute. It's lightweight, so, you know, even an older person or somebody that wants to handle it can take care of it. Or somebody who doesn't have a lot of upper body strength. You could take it along with you. You can always take this off, fold it down, put it in your trunk, take it to Grandma's house and mow her yard. And it will recharge and run off of my free solar power. So it's not costing me anything in gas. So I'd say that's a pretty good deal. Again, that's made by Sunjoe on Amazon, and it is a 14-inch 24 volt. All right, have a great day, folks.